Hey y'all, and welcome to Bradley the Singing Chef. It is the holiday season, and I don't know about your household, but in mine, there's lots of cooking going on. So, I wanted to try to show you a way that you can free up some oven space, even if you want to have a spiral sliced ham on your table for the holidays. So, you see this giant spiral sliced ham that I have here, that obviously would take up every piece of room in my oven. So, what we're going to do today is find a way to utilize our crock pot in order to make this ham fantastic. That way I've got my whole oven free for all the side dishes that I want to make for my holiday meal. So, first thing I've got to do, obviously, is take this spiral sliced ham out of its packaging and into my crock pot, just like so. I'm gonna discard this paper and I'll be right back. Okay, now that I've got a little bit of room on my station and I've got that packet out of my way, I'm gonna take these spiral slices and I'm gonna separate them a little bit just so I know that I can get in there, okay? Because I want the glaze that we're gonna create to get all throughout the entire ham, and that looks pretty good. So, I've got a saucepan over here on a burner. I'm going to turn that on to get that heating up for me. The first thing I've got is a can of sliced pineapple. You know, ham and pineapple, the pizza favorite. So we're going to go with that combination a little bit with this dish. And I'm going to actually take some of these pineapples and slide them in, these slices, rings of slices, in between few of these layers of ham so that some of that juice gets down in all throughout the ham as it is cooking. Don't forget that other side. Perfect. And then if you have, if you happen to be the person who gets the slice that has the pineapple, bonus. All right, last slice from my can down in there. That also helps separate those layers a little bit. Perfect, now I can set that to the side. Now, let's create this awesome glaze. What's gonna happen, we're gonna create a glaze in this saucepan and we're gonna let it reduce for about 5 minutes or so before I pour it all over all the layers of this ham. And then I'm gonna leave it on low in my crock pot for about 4 or 5 hours so that all that flavor gets into the ham, okay? So this is kind of a sweet and tangy glaze that we're gonna create. The first ingredient we're gonna use is all the pineapple juice that the pineapple was in this can. Make sure that it is pineapple juice that it is packed in and not syrup. You don't want more syrup. You want pineapple juice. So we'll put that into the pot. Toss the can to the side. To that, I have about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of packed brown sugar. That's going in. To that, I am going to add about 2.5 tablespoons of apricot preserves. I love this ingredient. I keep it on hand all the time for all sorts of recipes, so it's a staple in my fridge. You might want to make it a staple in yours because I think it makes a lot of sense in a lot of recipes. So, 2 heaping, almost 2.5 tablespoons of the apricot preserves into the mix. To that, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of raw honey. I love utilizing honey that is local as much as possible because that helps my allergies. So 1/3 cup. I also use cooking spray on this measuring cup. That helps me get that honey out a whole lot faster and easier. So just a little helpful trick. To that, I have 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard. That is going into the bowl. There's a little bit of spice and tang into the glaze. Another tang, a splash or 2 of red wine vinegar. Then I have some paprika, which I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika and a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, not garlic salt. Perfect. And lastly, a 1/2 cup of just water. Go into the pot. I'm just going to stir all that together, breaking down everything so that it can reduce quite a bit. I want all those flavors to not only meld together, but for the sauce to reduce to more of a glazed consistency, and that's probably going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to keep stirring this, let it reduce down, and I'll be right back. Hey y'all, I am back. So I brought my glaze to a boil, reduced it to a simmer, let it go for between 10 and 15 minutes to reduce down to a light glaze. Like, it's not really thick, but it is definitely reduced from the amount that was in the pot to start with. So I can turn off my eye now, and I've separated my layers of my spiral ham, put those pineapple slices in there, and got it here in my Crockpot basin, okay? And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all of this glaze and pour it all over this ham. Getting it in between these layers, I can help separate with my spoon to try to get it down in every little crevice of the ham. Yes. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna pop this basin onto the bottom heating element for this crock pot, covered on low for about 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours on low. And you're gonna wanna check it every once in a while. You'll see that there's lots of liquid in there right now, but as that goes away, you may want to baste the top of your ham as you go. Check it about every hour or so. I'm gonna pop this on the heating element, let it go for about 4 to 5 hours, and I'll be back to show you what we got. I'll be right back. Hey y'all, I am back. It's been about 4.5 hours since this beautiful ham has been sitting in that glazed bath in my slow cooker. And this is the thing of beauty, you guys. I have to show you this ham. I mean, come on. That is a centerpiece if I've ever seen one for your holidays. Got to try this thing. When I took it out of the crock pot, the slices, I mean, they were literally falling apart. It's so tender. Gotta get a little piece here. Let's see how we did. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. It's sweet and salty and a little bit of tang at the same time from that Dijon mustard and the sweetness of those apricot preserves and the honey and the brown sugar. Oh, it's so good. I think you are going to love making your ham this way this year in the crock pot. Saves you so much room in your oven for all the other things that you need to be making at the same time. And it just sits there in that lovely little jacuzzi for that 4.5 hours that you can be doing way more things in your kitchen. I really do hope you'll try this, and I know you're going to enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining me on Bradley the Singing Chef. I hope you have a happy holiday season, and I hope you eat this ham. Eat well, love always. Bon appetit, y'all.